Hello and welcome to the next episode of Mole in Hell, your Diablo podcast. My name is ChaosMole, and oh boy, was that a week or was that a week? Like seriously, that was kind of crazy, wasn't it? We got patch 1.1 on Tuesday, then people realized, whoa, this is not going well. Then we had Season 1 starting on Thursday, which also a lot of people realized, whoa, this is not really too great. And then on Friday, Blizzard had to bring together a fireside chat to immediately try to put out all the fires they ignited themselves. And now Diablo 4 looks a bit pale, to say the least. And man, where to begin? Like seriously, this is the first time where I'm a little bit unsure just how to react to all of this. To make something very clear, I know that some people have been very critical about this patch, right? And I don't see it as world-ending as some people do. Well, this has also to do that I'm running homebrew builds, right? So all my builds I'm running, they're self-made. There is no, like, I'm following this YouTube guide, this Reddit guide, or something like that. This is all, like, trying to figure stuff out myself and then do my own thing. Because let's be honest here, like, the whole Diablo 4 system is not that deep. I know Blizzard is always saying it, like, oh my god, we have such a deep system, and now with Season 1, it got even deeper. And I have to say, no, it isn't. I'm sorry. not for an action RPG veteran like me, this is not deep. Right. So nonetheless, I was not really too affected by it, but I'm still affected by it because they made some changes which are just utterly bizarre. And as Blizzard has already admitted themselves, they should have probably fine-tuned a little bit more and should have probably looked to the changes around them. And this is where it's weird to me. Like, Blizzard, this is not like something which landed on your feet and you were like, oh, what is that? Is that a patch? Are those nerfs? Oh my god, we have to do something, right? It's like, no, you made those decisions, you brought those nerfs to life, and you decided that they have to happen. But you make it sound like as if you were absolutely surprised by this, and now you're like, wow, we did a lot of nerfs, but we didn't really like look at opportunities and other builds we could have given to the player. It's like, why? Why didn't you do that? Like, what did you think, or what did you expect would happen when you would bring out those nerfs? Like, let me make something very clear. Like, one of the nerfs a lot of people are discussing right now is vulnerability, because it hit everyone. And I will be honest, I'm expecting them to nerf vulnerability even down to 15%. With the next patch, and then in a year when the first expansion is coming out, vulnerability will be gone. It's just, as a stat in itself, it is too good. 25% just more damage, and you can keep it up 99% of the time on the enemy. Yeah, that's too good. This is why they nerfed it down to 20%, but 20% is still crazy in comparison to some of like the other things you could get, right? And this is why vulnerability is so strong. And also, it counts for the whole team. It's not just for you. This is a team thing, which makes it even crazier, right? But you know how I noticed that Blizzard just, whoever did the balance, completely screwed it up. It was a complete mistake on their end. And I noticed that when I now played a Necromancer in the first season, and one of their talents, which should have had 3 points in it, like you could spend 3 points on the talent, right, on one of those passive key points, only has 1. They removed 2 talent points you could put in there because they couldn't really like lower the percentage anymore, but it was too good. So they just removed 2 talent points you could put in there. And now I have to like think about like, okay, where do I put those talent point else? Does it make sense for me is the bigger question. And it's just, how did you not notice that? how did you not see that? And I can see why people are so frustrated. It seems like a lot of the nerfs they have been giving out to classes and in general are just seen as a bubble. Like every nerf has seen as a sole object of a nerf, and nobody looked at the big picture and was like, oh shit, I think we are going overboard here. Also, and this is something I really noticed and which is concerning me the most. They had those nerfs, right? Okay, we can now debate if it was necessary or not. We can do this for hours, and you will always find somebody who says, yes, it was necessary, and somebody who says, no, it wasn't, right? This is a endless debate. But there is something I really noticed. Blizzard nerfed the speed you would go through the game. They did this with leveling, right? Then they tried to put in those leveling requirements, which they already removed, but still they put them in, right? And they put so many things in where you just realized, wait a minute, are you slowing down progress in your game? You know when I normally see that in video games? This is on purpose, because you realized you don't have the content to keep the people entertained, and you were losing people. And now you're trying, the dumbest thing you can do is trying to slow progress down even more so that people are not realizing too quickly, oh shit, there's no content here, I'm leaving. If you want to see this in action, I highly recommend looking up the first year of Amazon's New World, right? Like people were always like, man, New World is so slow and this is not going fast enough. This is just like, it's not fun. I am taking far too long to level up. And Amazon was always like, nah, this is right. We did the math on it and this is fair. And then a year after, when the first expansion came out, they were like, oh yeah, we are increasing now like the leveling process through all levels. Like this is now a doozy. And you would just run through the leveling process because now we have content. They literally said that. Now we can do that because now we have enough content. And I was like, oh, so you did slow us down because you didn't have enough content. Great, dicks. I find that so sleazy. And I think Blizzard tried to do the same thing here. They saw the numbers dropping already and they were like, oh shit, how can we slow this down? And they were just slowing, like the same goes with the leveling requirements, with removing the fast leveling process, yada, yada, yada. It is just this, wow, you really want to force the people to take longer to get through the game, through your game. Not because it is fun, not because there is content, not because people enjoy playing the game, because just you see the numbers drop and you want to force them to stay longer. You hold them basically hostage. I know this is a little bit too much as an example, but it's the only word which is coming to my mind when I think about it. Like at this point, you are not trying to keep the people anymore because your game is fun, but because you're trying to hold them hostage to keep your player numbers up. And wow, I'm so not okay with that. But there was the patch. Blizzard now said they will never do that again. They are now promising us that they will improve, yada yada. As per usual with Blizzard, I have now been playing video games for, over 25 years with. I wait and see. If I'm seeing it, I believe it. I had too many games where they just screwed it up. And I can still give you, after all those years, quite a bit of examples. Like, let me give you one. So, back in 2002, yes, 2002, I know for some people this is like, huh? I wasn't even born yet. Yeah, I know. But in 2002, Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos was all the rage. And especially in PvP, it was really, really good. But, so I love to play the undead in PvP. And they had like one distinct unit, which was the Necromancer. And the Necromancer was absolutely OP. And Blizzard didn't notice, right? It was a support unit, a tier 2 support unit, but the main idea of the necromancer was that you could summon 2 skeleton warriors out of a skeleton, right? And then you would have some support abilities, and you were also a pretty strong range unit. So what you just did, you built a lot of cheap units, let them run in first, they all get murdered. You let your necromancers summon even more skeleton warriors while the enemy army is already hurt a little bit, and then you are also nuking from the back rows with your necromancers. And you couldn't send in flying units because the flying units were weak against range attacks. Not rage attacks. They were the rage, but they were range attacks. And they just decimated all the flying units. You couldn't get to them. That was the point. It took Blizzard 3 months. 3 full months, which were just free ranking climbing for me. And then they had to slash the damage of the necromancers by 70% or something. They were super weak now. And it took them another 9 months till the expansion Frozen Throne came out. And they basically added a new magic attack for support units, so that they will use magic attacks instead of range attacks. And all the flying units would get an armor which will still make them weak against range attacks, but not against magic attacks. And this is how they finally fixed it. And that's how long it took them. And I'm like, yeah, I will always remember that. And I could probably also go through the whole World of Warcraft spiel, but I don't really want to do that. But it's just, yeah, Blizzard, I believe it when I see it. It's as simple as that. But let's talk about something I can see right now, and that is Season 1. Tell me, folks, have you played Season 1? Have you played the weekend event? And yes, I'm calling it a weekend event because that's what it is. Like, this is an event people would have mentioned in World of Warcraft, and they would go to the guildmates and they would ask, hey, did you already did the weekend event we had? Oh, what is it? Oh yeah, we like they give us some gems for our rings so we can do some extra cool stuff with our abilities. Oh, okay. Is there a story to it? Yeah, you were going through a quest line. Okay, how long does it take? 4 hours? Oh, okay. Weekend event, right? But this is not a weekend event. This is a whole ass season of 3 months, and nothing else is coming. This is it. I kid you not. I'm now level 40 something with my necromancer, and I'm completely done with the quest line. I am 70% through my battle pass. Yeah, 70%. And I have maybe played in total 8 hours. Like, I don't really mind that I'm going through the battle pass super quickly. I don't mind that. That's cool. That's actually fantastic, right? But that this whole event, okay, quest line, whatever, it wasn't too crazy. But this whole event is just, yeah, we gave the gems some legendary aspects, now some colorization, and we added some mini dungeons to the game. Look, I didn't expect Path of Exile style seasons where they are really just delivering mini expansions. But this feels so second thought. Like, damn, Season 1 is already coming a month after the release. What are we doing for it? Put gems in it with legendary aspects? Good idea. Let's do this. It feels... It really feels like they have put this together in a week or two. And that's unfortunate. It really is. And then, of course, there's a problem with the Battle Pass, if you've missed it. Apparently, it's super easy to activate the Battle Pass or buy some tiers with the currency you can get, because Blizzard has forgotten to put a lock in there and to ask you if you really want to buy the Battle Pass or if you really want to spend the real money currency, and it's just doing that. And that is so sleazy and so predictable that I have to say, I'm sorry, Blizzard, you did this on purpose. You did this on purpose. But yeah, the whole Malignant thing is just, I don't know. I expected that it wasn't really much. And I said I would play this because A, the Battle Pass thingy, B, I'm a content creator, and C, I wanted to create a necromancer anyways. So it just aligned. But when Blizzard said, like, yeah, if you have already created like 6 barbarians before this, and this will be your 7th, it will be a completely different game. Oh yeah, those gems will completely change your playstyle. Bullshit. And you know why? Because, funny enough, most of the caged hearts, which are the new gems, right? They are just for the abilities we have already been using. It's so funny that they nerfed all those builds, and then they are putting the Hearts of the Malignants in, which are boosting exactly those builds they have been nerfing. And it's this, wait, what? Didn't you say that you don't really mind if a season is broken and everyone does too much damage because of the seasonal event going on and the seasonal perks? Apparently you have a problem with that because you nerfed exactly the abilities you then boosted with the Malignant season. Doesn't really fill you with confidence, does it? But man, season 1 is like, if you're really a casual player, I would say this is keeping you for a week. And that's the maximum. And there were rumors that Blizzard was already losing quite a bit of player base in Diablo 4. Can I just remind everyone here that we are now getting close to the craziest season in the gaming world? Like, while I'm recording this, Baldur's Gate 3 is only 1.5 weeks away. A game which, even though it lay dormant for the last 2 years, 3 years, it's now taking up hype since the bear sex scene. And if you're like, the bear what? Just Google it or don't. It's not safe for work. Let's just say you can get intimate with a druid bear, and yeah, whatever. Point is, people really look forward to Baldur's Gate 3, 100-hour game, a nearly 200-hour game for your first playthrough. Like, people are absolutely hyped for this game, and I can guarantee you that there are a lot of players in Diablo 4 who will just jump ship to that. Especially because you can also play it with your friends, right? It's a D&D round you are playing with your friends if you want to, or on your own. And even I'm considering right now if I just want to put some content here on the Mole RP channel, right? But nonetheless, it's just, what are you thinking, Blizzard? This is the first thing. Then, a few weeks after this, we have Armored Core 6. A new From Software game. Can I just remind everyone here what Elden Ring did last year? They sold over 20 million copies. That game is still lasting in Google Trends, on YouTube's, even though it didn't get like any new content for over a year really, it is still huge. And now From Software is putting out a new game. Yes, I know that Armored Core is not the same thing as Elden Ring. I'm very much aware of it. Believe me, I've played Armored Core since the very first game on the PlayStation 1. I'm aware of this game. It's not the same. It would not have the same range. But nonetheless, this is just adding to the whole Baldur's Gate, then Armored Core, and then you know what's coming out like just, 5 days after the From Software game? The biggest game of this year when it comes to hype. No, not Spider-Man. Starfield. And it doesn't matter what you think about the game. It doesn't matter what you think about Bethesda. I know that people will say like, oh, Bethesda game, I'm not that. It doesn't matter. The numbers Bethesda is bringing forth every time when they are releasing a new game speaks volume. Like shit, people are still buying Skyrim for fluff's sake, man. And Starfield is coming out a week before Season 2 is coming out No, it's actually not a week. It's a month. Sorry. I was in September, mixed it up with October. But still, like, we are still in Season 1 at that point, and that will be the last nail to the coffin. People have already left long ago. And I'm wondering what Blizzard cannot really do anything here. That's the problem with their seasonal content, right? They can get out a new patch, which will fix a few of the issues and some of the balance stuff, right? But they will not bring any new content. This is the content of Diablo 4 for the next 3 months. And there is one last thing I haven't mentioned yet. Next weekend is ExileCon, the Path of Exile convention, where they will not just showcase Path of Exile 2, it will be playable, and they will announce the beta date. Now, for everyone who doesn't know how this works, when Grinding Gear Games, the developers, are talking about beta, they actually mean like a long-lasting, permanent beta for months and months. So it's a bit like a soft launch for them when they are starting the beta phases. And if that is coming out in, let's say, October, or maybe even November, like, let's just say they have a really dark humor and they're doing well with the game, and they're announcing, oh yeah, Path of Exile 2 beta starts on October 10th. Nobody will give a shit about the Diablo 4 season. And you might think right now, Mole, wow, you really look forward to the end of Diablo 4, huh? No. Hell no. Look, man, I always shit on Diablo 3, and I think it's the worst of the Diablo games. It still is, in my opinion, for so many reasons. But I still managed to get over 600 hours into Diablo 3. That is quite significant, right? Like, there was still something which did draw me to the game. But what always irked me was how quickly Blizzard just gave up on it. Well, they also didn't really have like a live service model like they have right now and all that. I get it. But nonetheless, it's this. I am very much aware how much it sucked that Diablo 3 was just cast aside. And I don't want that to happen to Diablo 4. I really don't want to. I want that this game is doing well. And the thing is, all the great aspects are there. This is not a, oh yeah, you know what, like Diablo 4 is still a long way to go. There is literally nothing there. It's not Sea of Thieves, who literally started with nothing. It's not like some of the other live service games where you're just sitting here and ask yourself, where is it? Where's the game, right? Like Diablo 4 has all those signs of an extraordinary game. I really want to play for years and years to come, and want to see content for years and years to come, because I will be honest, I don't think that we are seeing a Diablo 4 in the next Diablo 5 in the next 10, 12, 15 years. Like, Blizzard is focusing on other things, but I will be honest, like, we can only hope when Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard that they would just want to keep Diablo 4 running, right, no matter what. But under Activision, I guarantee you, if there's like the first serious issue coming up, they will abandon the shit after a year or two. And I don't want that. I want this game to be around for another decade. Now, if they're turning this around, great. And I really hope that this was a warning shot for Blizzard. And they really heard that loud and clear. because they will not get another one. Too many good games coming out, too many games people anticipate, too many games which will actually be able to bind the player base for many months or even years to come. And Blizzard just they don't have the luxury to screw this up a second time. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm a bit speechless, Like, I talked about this 2 weeks ago because we didn't have a podcast last week, right? But I talked about this 2 weeks ago and talked about just, I have some fear about season 1. I'm concerned about a few things they could bring to the table, right? Everything I said became a reality. And the moment I realized that, I hated myself so much for it. Because it was this, oh no, why do I have to be right? Like, why can I not just be wrong on this? And we got exactly what I anticipated. Now, granted, I didn't anticipate a big swing of nerves, which are absolutely bizarre, right? Like, as I said, I get it. Blizzard, the amount of content you have and how quickly you can get through the content in just a month of playtime is probably quite concerning for you. But look, you don't have to slow that down. Like, just let me enjoy a game, even if it's just for a month. And if you just don't have enough content, I move on and might come back at some point. But I really hope when you announce that you will have a season 1 after a month after the release, that we are getting a little bit more substantial here, right? Like, it's also another thing I realized is the difficulty of all of it, right? Like, they painted it as something which will really test your mettle, and like they will also be a little bit rare, like the whole malignant events, and nothing of that happened. You can find them everywhere, and they are not really that much harder. You just do them twice, and that's it, right? And I know that Path of Exile had some similar events to this, where they had similar mechanics with the whole, you are summoning your own enemy and you have to fight them twice and all that. But especially in the leveling process, I had some moments where I just died to those super enemies, right? And here in this game, it's just, oh, a malignant. Oh, extra loot. Okay, cool. Takes me a minute longer. Awesome. Like, I don't... yeah, disappointed. That's just all. Now, I cannot change it, right? This is now how it is. This is how it will be for the next 3 months. And, well, as I just said, there are a lot of other games coming out very soon, which will take my attention away from Diablo 4, I'm afraid. Does it mean this podcast will disappear? We'll see. Like, as I said, it's a bi-weekly podcast, always has been. I just had some weeks where I really had like a lot to talk about, and I made it a weekly podcast. Maybe I transform it into a Baldur's Gate podcast for a week. Who knows? I don't know. No. I would create a different podcast, right? But I will be honest, it hurts a little bit to see after a month of the release that Diablo 4 is already coming to a conclusion. Not because you were going through the content too fast. If Blizzard would have dragged this out, I would have probably given up on the game a long time ago. I like the speed, But I have now reached a point where I have seen everything in Diablo 4 before the season even came out. And now I'm playing a new character with the totally gameplay changing Hearts of the Malignant, which is, again, not really the thing. And I just realized I don't need that, right? So, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. That doesn't mean like I'm not turning my back on Diablo 4. I'm not leaving it. As I said, I want this game to exist for a long time to come. But I will probably switch my priorities a little bit. As I said, by the way, folks, if you enjoy Starfield, there's more and more content for Starfield coming because there's a lot, and I'm really looking forward to that game. And I might add some Baldur's Gate 3 to some degree. I haven't decided yet what I want to do, which is like, hey, you have a week left. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yay. But at least when it comes to Diablo, things might slow down a bit. Like, you, as a content creator, think about that. I was actually thinking about doing a little bit something about the actual season, doing some content about it, till I realize there's absolutely nothing I can do. Like, just telling you the whole thing you already know with the Malignant and how it works. I mean, it's so easy to understand because they have a whole quest line just guiding you through it, and it takes maybe 5 minutes to understand what the hell is going on. That as a content creator, I was just like, do I really want to do like what other content creators do and just repeat everything which is already in the game? I hate that. I like, this is one of the things I really want to do with this channel, right? I want to bring out some content which you are not just finding on every other YouTube channel already. This is why I don't really have builds on this channel. This is why I am wanting to do the podcast format and doing some other videos to it. But I'm just realizing now, after a month, that the more I'm looking into it, there is not that much different here I can do. This is why I wanted to focus on PvP at the beginning, and PvP is just a shit show because Blizzard didn't care for it at all. Like, it's not even unfair, it's literally broken, right? And it's really unfortunate. So yeah, at least from a content creator perspective, I think I have reached my end point with Diablo 4, right? So, yeah. I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't even have the video from the campfire, which happened on Friday, I didn't even watch it, because I already knew what will happen there. Blizzard would sit there, say, we are sorry, here are the solutions which are coming in the next month or so. Thank you for listening, have a nice day. And that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, didn't really do it that time because I was really disappointed. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still having some hope left on Diablo 4. This is just the beginning, and I'm hoping that Season 2 would just leave me speechless, and I would go, hot damn, they did it again. But to that point, there's nothing really happening besides of a few patch notes and hopefully positive changes to the balance. With that said, folks, thank you so much for watching. I know this wasn't the most happiest podcast we had, but hey, these talks have to happen sometimes, unfortunately. I wish it was otherwise, but I was kind of prepared for it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see definitely more Starfield here on the channel and also some Diablo now and then, I will still try to keep up the podcast. Don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. And till then, stay safe, and I see you in hell. Till then.